Hello, people. We're back. I know you missed us.
Better than
'cause we
ever.
missed you, period. But yeah, we're back. We had some time off. We went to Coachella. I went to Costa Rica. He's been doing his fitness thing.
Okay, Maddie,
He's
era.
lost some weight, period.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're
Apparently.
back better than ever. Better than ever.
Better than ever on
Yeah.
our coming up era, our
Coming
grind
up
up era.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop us now.
No, ready for summer.
Hot girl summer.
Yeah. So we definitely had to get an episode in. So yeah. So we're back.
Back to our normal program
Yeah.
schedule.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So
we're just for so fun, but like we're gonna get so deep and serious this episode. I'm like, are we gonna shed tears?
I don't know.
Starts crying.
I cried like 4 times today. That's to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. And last night I cried like 3.
Oh.
I was sitting in my car smoking, and somehow I just started crying. I was bawling my eyes out. But to be honest, my house has just been emotional, so I just feel like that's why.
Sometimes it's okay to cry. Sometimes like you need a good cry. Sometimes I'm like, that was good. Like,
yeah, but that's
and
like
crying burns
every day.
calories.
Does
too.
it actually?
It really does. Yeah.
Then why am I not skinny?
It doesn't burn like
Why
that
was
many.
I a fat kid?
It doesn't burn that many calories.
You know what else burns calories?
Okay. Okay. Oh, there's a fly. But we're outside today too.
We are
Okay,
outside.
slay.
Hot girls are outside this summer.
Exactly.
They're not in their bed this summer. They're out doing things. They're getting their shit done. They're getting their bills paid. And then they sleep at night, wake up. They don't sleep at night because they're at the club.
Bus,
club,
work,
club,
bus, gym.
And then you make it home to do your laundry, so you keep the outfits
Clean, fresh.
and then you go
Because
back
hot girls
out.
stay squeaky clean too.
Clean girls. Everybody watching this is going to be like, shut the fuck up, Sierra, be honest. Okay? Let's take a tour of my room real quick.
Sierra,
I'll show you what a clean girl looks like.
Sierra texted me. She's like, don't come in my room. It's depression era right now.
But that's like every time
And then
he comes over to my house.
I respond with, you say that every time I come over.
Literally. Just can't. My mind's cluttered, so my room is cluttered. I can't.
My room's cluttered too.
Yeah. But
It's just like,
yeah,
you don't have time for it. You're too busy doing all the other things.
Yeah, I'm never
worrying
home.
about everything else. And it's like, that's my last concern, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck it. It's messy, okay? So be it.
Yeah. I think this also goes in with the mental health thing, because I just feel like if your mind is not right, you know, like what's around you isn't going to be right, and vice versa. Like if your things are messy, you're not going to feel as good as if like your things are clean, you know. But sometimes your life just gets in the way and you can't control it.
Yeah.
And it just gets out of hand.
And yeah.
Yeah.
My
And
room's
then-
just always been messy, even if I'm in a really good state of mind.
Me too.
Like,
But let's
it's
be
just
honest,
like-
my state of mind, when I'm in a the bug in my mouth.
Hot girls are outside.
I'm dying right now. Look, I had something really good I was gonna say too.
I said if I'm in like a good state of mind, my room is still just a mess.
Oh, I was gonna say
Unless
my
I'm, like, in
happy
my
states
clean
of
era.
mind are probably just my delusion. Like, am I really happy, or do I just like the moment and then I come back home and then I'm sad again?
I guess what you're saying, but like, cause like I think it's just like you're coming off of like a high.
Yeah.
Cause like I
I'm
get
always
that
coming
way.
off of a high. Let's be honest.
Cause I get what you're saying. Like I see that. Like sometimes I'm like wow, like I am really really happy and like I'm in such a good place. And then it's like whatever I was doing where I was like happy, I come home and I'm like, am I really happy?
Yeah, like Coachella, and then we came home and I wanted to die. Like I always just wanted to sleep. I didn't want to go back.
I came back from Coachella and I was like sad, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking just work and distract myself. But I was like, God, I'm like
Don't
not
wanna do
happy
this.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be doing this. I want to be doing something else. And I'm like, am I happy where I am right now in life?
Yeah.
And then sometimes I
Same
just like
issue.
think about my whole life and I'm like, oh my God. Like,
And then you go down a rabbit hole of like all these decisions you made and like how you could have made different decisions that could have been better and like put you in a better position now. Well, that's how I am. I don't know about you.
I mean, I don't see like, I always think like, what if, like for example, like college, like we both dropped out. Like let's be realistic here. But like I always think like, oh, what if like
I went.
I went to college? But then also like I'm not like, but then I don't get like, oh, my life would be better, because it's like maybe my life wouldn't have been better. Like who knows where I would have been if I went to college now, you know? I feel like
Mhm.
I wouldn't be doing as many fun things as I'm doing, because I would be like more like in school.
Cool.
But then also like I'm like, I feel like I would have never started this podcast with you or done all these things if I was in college, because I would have been like, oh, I need to focus on this before I can like focus on something else.
Yeah.
So I don't think like, oh, what would have made my life better, because I don't know the outcome.
Yeah.
I love that thing where it's like, fuck, what's that saying? Where it's like, you don't know the
I like saying
take risk or something.
I like, what is it?
Do you
It's
know
not
what I'm
about,
talking about though?
no,
Oh.
but I like
It's
to
not
say
about
it's
the journey.
It's not about the
Oh.
destination, but it's about the journey that you take.
Oh.
I like to say that.
I like to say play the game or the game plays you.
Yeah.
I like thought of that one. It's probably honestly was a thing before, but like that's my thing where I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna let this game defeat me.
Yeah.
But the quote I'm thinking is like, you never. What is it? It's gonna like literally come to me later. Like I'll see it on Instagram
We'll probably
or
still be on the same
something.
topic, so you can,
Yeah.
when it comes to you, just
It
blurt
will.
it out.
It's all I'm gonna think about now, like in the back of my mind.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. I always think about like, what if I did this and what if I did that, but sometimes I just feel like inadequate too. Like everybody that we know is like in college and like going to school and getting a degree and like doing
Yeah.
all this shit.
And I think we've even seen it more because it's. I mean, on Instagram, I've been seeing like a bunch of people that I went to high school with, like
Graduating
and like no, well,
Not only
even more
that,
in depth, like they're getting married now too, and
having
I'm like,
kids.
shit, like where am I in my life path? Like I swear I'm like 15 years old still.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say the last time. I feel the same exact way. Like I feel like I lived the life of 16-year-old me, but I really just think it's because that COVID gap year really
Like,
screwed
yeah.
up my time, because you couldn't do anything. School was online. I didn't want to go to school online. Then 2 years passed and I don't want to go to school anymore.
Yeah, I tried the online school. It doesn't work.
It doesn't
for me.
work for me. It doesn't
Yeah.
work for me either. It's just like, I'm not trying to make an excuse, but it's just I can't sit in front of a computer for like a 2-hour lecture and not get distracted. Like I'll sit there and learn nothing. So
No.
why am I wasting my time when I can be working and making money and have that independence and not have that requirement of school where I would actually be struggling.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to do that to myself. But now I'm 20 years old and I'm like, I don't want to do it still. But college isn't.
It's not for everybody, and
Yeah. But sometimes it does make me feel like I'm dumb or I'm stupid.
Yeah. And also I just feel like, I don't know with like your family and everything, but like I just feel like there's this like also like stigma where it's like, oh, like you have to go to college to like do this and this, like to get like a good job and like to be able to be successful, but like you don't. And so then I feel like I always get compared to like my siblings who are going to college, and then it just makes me like kind of feel even more like, okay, like shit, like what am I doing? Like I'm 21 years old and like everything they're saying is right, but then I'm like, okay, like no, like let me like prove them wrong and like show them that I can go and do something.
Yeah, my family, I wouldn't say my family is like that 100% where like you need to go to school, but my family is definitely like, you need to find something to do with your life.
They're not like that where it's like 100% go to school, but that's how I feel. Like I feel like I'm getting judged, and I don't know if that's just like the negative self-talk in me where I'm like,
or like when I'm at school, or like not at school, oh my god, when I'm at work, or like I'm talking to somebody and somebody asks me like, are you in college? What are you doing? And I'm like,
I feel stupid being like, I'm working on myself. Like I feel so dumb saying that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and they're like, oh, that's good.
Good. They're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, work.
I'm doing me, bitch. That's what I'm doing.
But like I went like not only just like people near me, but it's like also like strangers, or like when you like see somebody from like school and they're like, oh my god, like how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. Like what have you been doing? And like you just catch up, and they're like, oh well, like I work here now, and it's like a big boy or big girl job, and I'm like, oh, I serve bagels.
Yeah, I wipe bikes.
I wipe bikes too.
Like I don't know, but also.
But then also like people say this, like I know people are like, oh, it looks like you're having so much fun, like everything that we are doing. And
not only that,
like you get two different sides.
I feel like it takes a lot for someone to do this, and like pursue what they actually want to do, and
Yeah.
sometimes that doesn't involve going to school.
Yeah.
There are like hundreds of entrepreneurs who own billion-dollar
Yeah.
businesses and never have been to school before, but they work towards what they wanted and they got it. And every time like I talk to someone and I'm like, I'm not in school, but like I'm in a band and I like to sing and I like to do that, or like I mentioned like I'm in a podcast, they're always like, well, that's really impressive. It takes a lot to like get in front of a camera and to get on stage or like something like that, which is something that me and you is comfortable doing. So I really think that's where like the balance is, because it's not like we're not doing anything with our
Like we're
lives.
trying, we're doing something,
We're
and we're
doing,
gonna
but we're
keep
working
going.
towards
Yeah.
something, and like everybody starts from somewhere.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing too, like, because even like when I talk to people, like, I always like think of it like when you go to college, it's kind of like it's like you have this many years until like you get your degree and you graduate, and like if you want to get like masters or whatever, then it's more years, whatever, right? It's like a certain timeline where it's like, hey, once you do this, like you're set, you know, you're gonna go get your job and everything. But then when people like think about this like aspect of life, it's like you don't actually know like how long it's gonna take, you know, like you could work for like so many years until like you can keep going, or you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah,
it's not like a set timeline when you're like, okay, like this is like what's
yeah,
keeping me
yeah,
going.
yeah,
But I feel like it's also like if you love what you do, like that's all that matters.
exactly.
Because everyone's like, oh, I want you to be happy, but it's like, but then you're like telling me all these things, and it's like, can't you like be content with me doing what I want to do and be happy with it?
Yeah. I also just feel like the things that I want to do, people don't take seriously as like a real career or like something that you could make money out of. Because a lot of like, I understand like I need to be working if I want to do this, or like I need to go to school if I want to do this, because I need a balance of like, I need to be doing something on the side until I get there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also kind of been my struggle, because it's kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm running out of time, but I know I'm not.
I feel that too. Like sometimes, like literally driving here, like I literally drove past like a group of high school kids, and it just made me think, like, not like we're like old, but it like made me think where it's like, oh my god, like I remember when I was in high school, I felt so long, but like seeing the high school kids, I was like, why do I like actually feel like old, like old compared to them? But it's like I'm literally only 21. I just turned 21. Like, and if you even think about it, like if I think when I was 20, like how my life has changed in like just 1 year, like I'm like, oh, like that is like crazy that all that happened in 1 year. So it's like 1 year from now, like where will we be? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not old. I still have my whole life ahead of me, but sometimes I feel like shit, like I'm fucking
I need to
old.
get my shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
how exactly how I feel, and that's why like the college thing like really screws with, or like the work thing really screws with my head, because I feel like I should be working a full-time job, like something in a like as like an admin, or like something like an adult would do like at 40 years old, but like I'm not. I'm 20 years old, and
then I feel stupid when I work with like
old
high
like
schoolers, and they're like, oh, I just like they're like, and I'm like, how was school today? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why am I asking them how was school today, and I'm over here like working the same job as them, you know?
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
But then it's like if I was to be working with like a 40-year-old or something, I'd be like, oh, how are your kids? And I'm like, why am I asking them that? Like, you know what I mean?
it's was just talking about this to my mom the other day, because I was saying how like it's really weird how I could go from hanging out with somebody who is like hanging not hanging out, but like I could talk to somebody who is in high school still, like senior
But
17,
still relate
18,
to them.
and still relate to them, but at the same time still talk to somebody who is 40 years old and also relate to them as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
we're in this like middle.
What side do I choose to be more like like am I ready to be a full adult, or like should I let myself have this time now to figure my shit out, or do I just like, I don't know. It's just like this weird thing.
It's this weird thing, and I also it's like you're in your 20s, and it's like, you know, it's like we're fresh in our 20s, and it's like also I always like think like compare myself, and I know it's so bad to compare yourself, but it's like when I think about like when I talk to my mom and everything, it's like about like moving out or like actually like going and like trying to be on my own fully.
Hmm.
But then like you look at everything and it's like, oh my god, like I can't, like I literally can't afford that. But then it's like my mom's like, oh, I moved out at like 18 years old, and I'm just like, so like, or like even thinking about like when people go to college, like they're kind of moved out, you know what I mean? Because like they're living in the dorms, and it's like, oh my god, all these college kids are living alone, and I'm still like living here at home. And so
Yeah,
then it's like, where am I? Like, what am I doing?
yeah. I like, but it's also very normal to be living with your
Yeah,
family still at 20 years old. Like, there's people who are living with their parents until their 30s. Like, it's everybody. That's yeah. I have the problem with comparing too because I not that I compare myself to a specific person, but like I just compare myself to my generation, and it's just like I just feel so different. Like I don't feel like I'm in that mode
yeah.
that everybody else is in. But and then it gives me anxiety, and I'm just like, oh, the fuck do I do?
It's like a lot, and then I'm like, I don't. I'm just like, it's so much, and it's like so overwhelming, and then it's like you want to like just like break down and like just stop.
Stop. Like you literally want time to stop just
But
so
then
you
it's
can
like
think.
when I stop, then I'm like, well, what the fuck am I doing? I'm doing nothing now.
Yeah, and it's just like time slips away. Like we're already almost halfway through this year.
I know that's crazy. Like next month is halfway. I was like, wow.
Like it's fucking insane.
But then you also have to like think about everything that we've achieved in that half month,
Yeah.
because it's always like I've always seen this thing too, where it's like you can get like so many good things, but you're gonna focus on like the one bad thing, you know. So
I
it's like obviously we're only focused on like, oh my god, like we're already halfway through the year, like we're still here, here, here. But it's like, okay, what have we done, and what have we gotten accomplished, and where have we gone, and like what did we do?
yeah, one thing I always have learned, like be going through therapy like my whole life and like all of that stuff. And I feel like being in my 20s and like stuff like this, I really just like just be try to make myself humble about it because I feel like this year whether I didn't make progress within school or like I'm still working the same job, I'm still proud of where I'm at because I took time to work on myself. And a lot of people don't do that and they're stuck with like all this like trauma and they're not happy and they don't feel like their life is fulfilled because they never give the time to like think what do I need for
Like, what do you
myself.
want to do? Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like for me I really just like worked on my mental health because it was horrible. It was so bad. And I feel like in the future that is going to help me a lot more than having a job now or like going to school now because then I'll be prepared to handle obstacles that maybe I wouldn't be prepared to handle right now. You know what I mean? And then I'll set myself up to succeed rather than fail
Mm-hmm.
because I just feel like for a long time I never really put myself first and I never like wanted to change and now I'm in a position where it's just like I don't want to feel like this anymore. I want to be better and I'll get there. But I just need to give myself the time. And I'd rather give that time now so I can like fully understand who I am as an individual because I feel like then you just like everything will fall into place. Like you'll know what you want to do, you'll know what people you want to be around, you'll know what's good for you, you know like you just you'll just know yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the one thing that I feel like a lot of people really miss the opportunity on, especially like the older generation, not older generation, but like I don't know, I talk to people like in their 40s and like 50s
And
and
they
they're all
say
like
like they wish that they did, they wish that they enjoyed their like 20s and like everything, instead of like just like, okay, like I'm gonna do a job, you know.
yeah.
And they're always like, oh, like I'm glad that you're like,
And I just
sometimes
like
they're like, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
not only that, I just like I look at the way that they like that they live and it just seems so miserable. Like it just seems so like they're not at peace with themselves because something is missing. You know what I mean? Like when I talk, I just feel like when I talk to some people and like they didn't like work on what they needed to work on back then, they're still living it with it now. And it's just like they never like found that peace within themselves to like enjoy life. You know what I
I
mean?
see what you're saying too, because it's like before I started going to therapy again, I
Mm-hmm.
remember just being like trying to like get over it. Like, okay, like I'm just gonna like ignore what I'm like dealing with, and like it's just gonna go away. Like I can't change it. Is what I kept telling myself. It's like I can't change what happened. I can't change
Mm-hmm.
where I am or what everything is. Like I can't change that part. Like I can't change the outcome of it. And I was like, let me just like tell myself it's okay. Like I can't change it, whatever, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's like I didn't realize like how bad and like how upset and how miserable I was with just being like whatever, like I can't change it, until
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what, like I was like I need to go back to therapy.
You
And
need
so then
to
when I
work
went
through
back
it.
to therapy, and then it's like I'm actually like I was like actually like now compared to where I was, I'm like actually like okay, like I can actually like not
Move
like it
on.
upsets me anymore as much as it did, you know. Obviously like what happened and what I was dealing with was like okay, like this is like really irritates me and everything that was happened from it. But it's like now I'm like able to like move on and not be like so focused on this. I can actually go enjoy everything and not be like
Mm-hmm.
have anger and this like built
Yeah,
up
exactly. It's
like aggression, you
yeah,
know?
it builds up because the even if like you think you're ignoring it, it's still in there. I mean, like you just push it down and push it down and push it down, but it doesn't leave your brain. Your brain locks that shit in your memories.
Yeah.
Like it's scientific.
Yeah, and even like if you move on, like it's still. I think another thing is like even if you move on, you're gonna have like days where whatever where it's like it's gonna like come back up and you're gonna be like and like get anger, but at least you can like know how to work through it and be
Yeah,
like, you know what, like because like obviously everybody has like a bad day, so it's like at least it's not like every day I'm just like ignoring it and pushing up to where it builds up.
yeah.
I know how to be like, you know what, like I am
I
okay.
can sit down and
Yeah,
breathe and work through this and not let it affect my whole
because I've
life.
learned all these things from like therapy.
Yeah,
So it's like
and you'll just like be happier.
yeah,
And yeah, so yeah, also that's where like my gratitude comes in for like being where I'm at, because no matter what, you know, oh my whatever what I was going to say was you are never at where you started, no matter what pause you go through. Like you've made progress and you'll never go back to where you were.
I remember mine now too.
What?
It's what if it turns out way better than you could have ever imagined?
Hmm.
Because it's like what I was like saying earlier. It's like oh, like if I made decisions, I don't know what could happen. So like I can't be thinking like if I did that. Cause it's like maybe this route is like better than whatever, and like maybe the me continuing it's gonna turn out so much better.
Yeah. I also just think like,
It's gonna turn out.
yeah, whatever you do, that decision was already planned for
Yeah,
you.
like I always say that too. Like everybody has a plan and they have like
Yeah.
a way. So it's like me choosing not to go to college or me choosing to go to college. Like it was already like set in stone like before like I even knew it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I chose to like do it and I chose to try it, and then I realized, you know what, this
It's not
wasn't
fun.
it. And so I tried,
Yeah.
but it didn't turn out how
You
it should have or how everyone else thought it would have. And so now I'm gonna focus on what I want to do and I'm gonna make this happen.
exactly. I 100% agree. And I just feel like whatever you believe in, whether it's God, the universe, whatever shit you think of, like when you have hard days, just really like go back and think about how like you had a plan even before you were born. Like your life was already created for you.
Yeah.
And your struggles and whatever, like you were meant to go through those struggles and you were meant to be where you are right now. So don't feel like bad about it, because everybody is at a different stage in their life.
Yeah.
And there are people that are older than us that are going through the same things that we are going through right now. And there are people like that are younger than us, like that are, I don't know, but like I'm just saying that we're all on our own journey and no one lives the same life. So why are we so hard on ourselves for trying to enjoy ours? You know?
Yeah.
Like, I really just think that you should love life. I was just thinking about this other day because of all those deaths that happened. Because, hi, Bluey. Sorry, my dogs came. I got distracted. ADHD. Anyways, there's just been a lot of deaths that are happening in our city. And it really just made me think about, like,
But like it's also
nothing
like
is guaranteed tomorrow.
but it's also deaths that are like people that
Young.
went to high school.
Yeah, like
with
our
us.
age.
Yeah.
So it's really like shocking to see like someone go through that, because it really could have been any one of us.
Yeah, exactly. Like you never
know what's gonna happen to you.
Exactly.
Or your friends or your family.
Like how like no matter how dark it sounds, like I've even heard people be like, "Oh, like I don't want to go out to like the clubs with you tonight, or I don't want to go to like Sacramento or whatever it is." But I'm always like, "But like we're gonna have fun. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like even like because like you have to think like with how dark the world is that we live in. Like you never know like if you're.
I mean, like you could go to school one day and not walk out of school. Like it's just
sad,
insane.
but it's like honestly like the truth, and it's like
reality.
It's so heartbreaking. So it's also like, don't stop and don't hold yourself back and just like take the risk, enjoy the life, and because like we were saying, like your life is already planned out. Like we already all have like a day when it's like going to be.
And that's not saying like go out and do like dangerous, risky things. Like keep yourself safe.
Like don't do something like stupid, obviously, but it's like don't like hold back on like
do what take opportunities that you get, because you never know if you'll get them again, and you'll never know if you'll never know if you'll get the chance again. Like you wake up every day and you don't know if you're gonna wake up tomorrow, and it's sad, but it's the truth. And that's what I always say, and this is how it's been one of my biggest helpers. I used to be so angry at life. Like I just used to feel so angry, and I still do. Like don't get me wrong. Like I have like pent up aggression in me, but it's less. It's more of something that I need to work out internally, so I don't need to share that with other people. Like I don't need to be mad at the world because of something that's happened to me, because that's no one else's fault. You know what I mean? And I also just leading with love and leading with kindness and living that way is just so much better, because it just feels so much happier. And not only that, like I don't know, it just makes the moments more enjoyable when you're just being kind to someone or loving someone, and especially like loving your friends and family now, because it's like you don't know if you'll have those moments again ever.
Yeah.
And same like internally, like you don't want to live angry your whole life and then pass away. What kind of life was that? You know, like it's better just to like
to
be
live,
nice,
love, laugh,
love, because
like the corny, like all the corny sayings were like live, laugh, love. Like they have the signs, but it's like that.
You know who probably said that was corny? A bitter bitch. A bitter bitch was probably like, that's fucking corny, because they couldn't feel that themselves.
Yeah, the enjoyment, because they're angry and they don't want to deal with it.
It's real. People get mad at people who are happy, because that's what they're missing. They want that happiness too. And that's where jealousy comes from, and that's where anger comes from, that's where fights happen, and that's where bad things happen. And it's just, and maybe that's because no one showed them kindness, and it's just sad. And that's why I'm just like, I don't get it, why people get so like, I don't know, angry. I'm just rambling, but like
built up aggression towards other people.
Yeah, it's just like, why are you gonna make someone else feel bad because
they're focusing on themselves, or they're doing something for them, or they're happy, or they're living life?
Just because they're being them. Like, why are you gonna make them feel bad because you are dealing with something internally? Like, go work on yourself. Like, go look in the mirror, go sit down and have a conversation with yourself, or have a conversation with whoever you believe in. Like, really think about who in this moment, be present. Like, what can I do that will make me feel better, or what can I do to like cope, because I don't feel like a lot of people know how to cope with their emotions, and that's why things get crazy and they act out. And also, just in general, mental health is like
Not talked
not
about enough.
accessible
Yeah,
to a lot of people as
it isn't.
well.
Yeah,
So they don't have the resources to go out and get it, and
and
like,
get help and like find a way to actually cope, like,
and
and
that's
learn skills to
and
like
that's the
do
sad
it.
part, and that's like a lot of reasons why shit happens is because either people feel ashamed to feel that way, or people, can't afford it, or people just don't listen and they're just by themselves alone, and it's hard to deal with that. I don't know. How I live is that no matter what, even if they're mean to me, I will treat that person with respect, with love, with kindness, because maybe that's what they're missing in life. And maybe they just, you never know, like, if you're at Starbucks and someone's having a bad day and you ask them how their day was, and like,
And it makes it better.
it,
Like you never really know.
you never know how you affect a person.
Yeah, I've had that like at Noah's Bagels. Like people will be like, I just like wanted like they come back and they're like you didn't realize it, but like I was actually having a really bad day, so like thank you for asking me. And I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
was just like being nice, having conversation. Like we're both here, we're both we both have to like talk to each other. Like why not just
I also think
have
that's
a
something
conversation
with our
about
generation as well. Everything is just so like behind a screen that, talking to somebody and like face to face.
it's like a lot more pressure too. Like you feel like oh my god, like you get anxiety and you don't know what to do.
Not only that,
Cause
it's just there's no compassion there. There's no compassion over a phone screen.
yeah,
You can text someone and call them a bitch and bully them and da 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 da, and then like when you're, I don't know. It's just like,
or like when you're saying no compassion, like you can text something over the phone, and I feel like it can be like interpreted in many different ways. Where when you're face to face, like the way I say it, the way we're interacting, like you have more of a connection.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You have more of a connection interacting with somebody, and you're able to, like, have a
Connect.
genuine
Yeah.
conversation. But like our generation, man, is just such behind a phone screen that you go to talk to somebody and you're like talking to a robot. And it's just like, why can't you just be like, why can't me and you just talk without you thinking like I'm weird or something? Like, what? Like, I'm just trying to ask you like how your day was. I'm not trying to hit on you. Like, it's not like that. Like, let's, like, can't we just have a normal conversation? And like, also like on the phones, like, people can drop a hate comment like that, and it's just like,
Yeah, and at the
no,
phone, like you can
nobody
choose when
cares.
to like respond, or you can like it's all at your choice. You know, where in person, it's like you don't have that like nobody knows who I am. I can disappear for like 5 hours. Like it's all present. It's all in the moment.
Yeah, it's just, I just feel like everything's kind of twisted right now in the world. Like everything is just kind of backwards, and I kind of miss. That's also one thing that I struggle with, because I feel like my social skills, I have none. Also, like, I don't, I feel like meeting new people for me is hard. Like, like me when I talk to you, like, it's fine, or like when I talk to somebody I know, it's fine. And like if I'm meeting a stranger passing by, like, it's fine. But like if I'm
But like
sitting,
making a connection like you already have with everyone in your life is hard.
yeah, or like when I go on a date, or like I'm trying to, like, I don't know what to talk about. Like, yeah, I'll be like, I just like, I don't
It's no,
know.
I get it.
It's hard
I'm
to
the same
explain.
way, even though it's really hard to believe. Like if I'm, even though it sounds so bad, if I'm not drunk,
Yeah,
it's
exactly. I have the same issue.
if I'm not drunk, I'm like really scared, but I try to push myself, and so I try to like be like okay, like I can do this, and so that's why I tell myself like I can do this, and so I keep trying. You know, like I'm not gonna like be afraid to say something or like do something or like compliment somebody or whatever it is and like make them think it's a weird way because like obviously if I'm telling you it like I'm being genuine and then I just have to like I don't know how they're gonna take it. If they don't take it well, then it's like okay. But if they take it well, I'm like okay, like maybe we can like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I can't like live in that fear too of like oh my god. So that's why I always
Yeah.
like push myself.
Yeah.
But like I'm literally so scared half the time sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I am too. And I think the thing with like being drunk is also, I just think that social media and like the internet has completely 100% ruined my confidence. So when I drink, I don't think about anything, and like my confidence is back. So I feel like I don't give a fuck what I say. Like whatever. Like if you don't like me, that's fine. I don't need everyone to like me. Like we all have a set of people that we just don't vibe with, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I'm not drunk and I'm just like talking to somebody, my mind automatically goes to, oh my god, they think I'm so weird, and I'm replaying everything that I said in my brain.
Yeah.
And then I go down this spiral,
I
and then
replay,
I
and I
never want
think,
to
oh my god,
I
did
never
I
want to
say
come back
something?
to the earth again, and I just want to recluse in my room and be and just like not have to deal with that, because I don't like the afterthought of it. But when I'm drunk, I don't give a fuck, and then I don't remember it anyway. I don't remember it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like,
No, like I do that too. Like I'll replay it. Like even like with like people that I know that I'm
Yeah.
not like super close with. I'm like, oh my god, did I say something that they're gonna be like, why would he say that? Like, is he stupid? Is he dumb? And then
yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, like I get all this scared, and so then I'm always scared about what I said. And then sometimes I'll say something, and I'm like, oh my god, I just said something stupid, and I'm just like replaying it in my head, and I'm not even focusing or listening to what they're saying right now. And then I've just lost this connection because I'm like focusing. Oh my god, they're
exactly.
overreacting.
No, I have the same exact problem. Like the same exact problem. That's also why like I don't want to start a new job or something like that, because I'm so comfortable of where I'm at that like I get anxiety of like I'm gonna have to meet a list of whole new people and like form connections with these people. And I would say working like as a sales position has helped, because you have to talk to them and
Yeah.
like make connections. So that's helped me a lot. But like just in general, like I don't know, it just gives me anxiety, and I hate that, because like why am I so worried about?
And I've also noticed that it's also if I, at least for me, like if I'm talking to somebody, sometimes I'm like all scared and nervous, and I've noticed the more times that I'm like nervous and I'm like freaking out, and sometimes I'll like be like, I don't want to talk to anybody, like you go do it. Like if I'm with my mom, like it's so stupid, but I'll be like, can you go ask them? Like I just can't. Like I'm like 21 years old, like I should be able to go ask them, but sometimes I'm like, no, like I just can't. And I think it's when I don't feel like, I've noticed for me, it's when I don't feel confident.
Yeah.
Because like you'll have your days where I'm like, I feel really good about myself. I like how I look. Like I'm very confident. And if I'm confident, I feel like all of my social anxiety and everything like that is like out the window. But it's like if I don't feel good about myself, it's like I'm like, oh my god, I'm so like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
also it's like
I'm the same way.
we look the same every day. So it's like you have to also like learn to like love yourself and be okay with everything.
Yeah. And that's because of like social media
Yeah,
beauty standards and like all of
and you
that
see
shit.
everything,
So
and then people comment on you.
Yeah.
I try not to take it too
Personal.
offense. Yeah.
Yeah. And not everyone's gonna like you. Like you're gonna meet
That's true. Like you're gonna
thousands of people in your life. Not everyone is gonna like you, and that's also something that's helped me a little bit. And because I don't like a lot of people, like to be honest, I don't like a lot of people. Like some people, I can't vibe with them because
it's nothing about them. It's just like
it's just like
we're
our
just so
personalities clash. Like
yeah.
it's nothing personal.
Yeah, it's like we're so
And
different in what we like, what we're interested into. It's just like I just can't get down.
And you know what song really helps me is "Dead to Me" by Kali Uchis.
Really?
Because her lyrics are like, it's okay. I like this lyric. It's okay to disagree. We don't have to be friends. That is like that one lyric, like helped me so much because it's true. Like I don't need to be friends with you, but like, or like the end of SZA's song where her grandma's speaking and she's like, you don't have to be mean to me or treat me rude, and then I won't be mean to you or treat you rude, or she said something like that. And it's just true. Like you don't talk to me, I don't talk to you, we don't talk about each other, we live
and it's not like I hate you, it's just like we
just don't vibe.
We just don't get together. And it's not like I hate you because of it. It's just like we
but
just don't.
People get so mad over that.
Yeah.
People get so offended. There's like an obsession of having so many friends and having like and everybody liking me. It's like I notice it's an obsession that people have, because when I'm not friends with somebody and I don't want to be friends, and I'm like, I don't want to hang out with you, sorry, they get so mad. Like they get mad at me, and I'm just like, why? I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying that I don't feel the need to know you. Like I know you, but like I don't feel the need to be best friends with you. Like
Hmm.
that's a relationship that I could see not working out and be toxic and not benefit both of us. And I only really want to surround myself by people who love me and I love them, not people who are gonna be your friend but also be a bitch behind your back.
Hmm.
Like I don't need that in my life.
Yeah.
Like let's be honest. Like if you're like that, you already have your own set of friends. Like you don't need more friends. No one needs thousands of friends.
Yeah.
No one needs thousands of friends. People live their life with maybe two friends and are the
Well,
happiest people on
yeah,
earth.
exactly. But it's also like I get the thing where it's like how you're always are saying like not everybody's gonna like you because sometimes like if like you hear somebody talking about you like you'll be hurt, you know. So then you're like, what am I like gonna do to like make them like me? But it's like you have to remind yourself
You
that
don't need to make
yeah,
you don't
not
need to do anything to impress
yeah,
anybody.
because it's like why are you gonna do something that's not you
I
or
also
not
think
that
about
you're
like
into?
why am I going to go the extra mile for someone who's not going to go the extra mile for me? Like I'm not going to waste my time on you because you're not putting any effort into having a good relationship with me. You want me to do all the work and make you satisfied, but where's my satisfaction? Like where's my end of the stick? Like where am I getting fulfilled in this relationship? Because
Hmm.
right now I'm pouring myself out to you and you're just eating it. And like where is the balance of meeting me halfway? Like with us, like all of our friend group, like we would do anything for each other. Like you need help, no questions asked, I'll go help you. And like if vice versa. But like a lot of people won't do that.
Yeah,
And they just want to have that follow or they just want to have that repost.
they just want the people to like lift them up,
Yeah,
but then they're not gonna lift you up and like help you in the ways you need.
exactly. And it just
And
I
it's
don't
really
need that in
sad
my life.
too to
Per
see.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it because you're protecting yourself. You're protecting your peace of mind.
Hmm.
And I've had many friendships where I'm just like, I need to step away from this right now because you're making me crazy and I feel horrible about myself. And I need to work on myself. And that's okay. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay to cut off somebody. It's okay to move on. It's okay to put yourself first in situations that maybe you haven't before.
Hmm.
And yeah, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with fake people or like fake friends or something
Yeah.
like that. Like at some point, a line needs to be drawn of like having respect for yourself.
Exactly. Because also like for yourself, another thing is like I always like see it's like self love isn't selfish, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and not only like self love, but like having like respect for yourself and being like standing up for yourself and like
Exactly.
doing what is best for you, like is not wrong because it's like at the end of the day you only have yourself, but also at the same time so many people are like, why would he do that? Why would she do that? Like they're just doing it for themselves, you know, like they're putting themselves first. But it's like at the end of the day, who is gonna always have my back? It's yourself. Like
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, who is gonna be the one that's gonna be there for you when
Yeah.
no one else is? It's gonna be you.
Yeah. When I went on to Costa Rica recently, and we did like a meditation circle, and it was about like healing inner trauma and like releasing like bad energy and stuff like that. And we like wrote down a list of things of the top 5 important things in your life, right? So I wrote 5 things, and then it was like, okay, would you like sacrifice something for this or like da 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 da. And the last question was like, would you die for this thing? Like, is this thing so important to you that you would die for it in your life? And the only one that I didn't choose was stability. One of the things was stability because like I hate when my life is like up and down and rocky, and it's just like I need stability. But that was the one thing that I said I would not die for. And then the next thing was like, what is important to you that will help you? What is something in your life that will help you release this like thing that you need to let go of, like the stability thing? And my number one thing was I need to stand up for myself because I feel like a lot of the time I have relationships that I feel like I need, and I'm always letting people walk all over me because I'm scared to say something because maybe I might lose that relationship if I
Yeah.
do.
And then you're like you're sad to lose something because it's just like, what am I trying to say? Like losing something is like you don't know. It's like this unknown where it's like, oh my god, if I lose this person, I'm gonna
Like,
be so sad. But it's like, okay, but you could get so much better from it.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I was pretty much gonna say is that like you never know until you try, and then you only live with regret if you don't. And so putting yourself first and standing up for yourself is a normal thing to do, and it's nothing that anybody should be afraid of doing, because if you don't, then I mean you're somebody else's puppet.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're not a puppet, you're a person, and you have a life and it's yours. Take control of it. Grab the life by the pussy.
Whoa. Okay. You really took a turn of events there.
Grab life by its balls and squeeze them.
Play the game where the game plays you.
Exactly. It's not shameful to want to live a good life. And it's not shameful to take steps to get there. But do it with love and kindness. Because if you do it with hate,
then you're not. Then it's
you're
just
not fulfilled. You're living a fake life. It's not.
And it's
yours.
It's gonna eat you up.
It's not your life. It's all the people who helped you get there. Because
that's a good one.
Because when you're using other people and you're living with hate and you're filled with rage, you're filled with jealousy, and you want what others have, you're not living your life. You're living their life.
Yeah.
You need to take control of your life and make memories for yourself. Go out there and do something you've never done before. Go do something alone. Go eat dinner by yourself. Like, find out who you are.
Yeah.
And then, have fun with your friends, love your family. Like, people want to be around someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
People want you. They don't want another version of someone else.
Because it's like, if you're being another version of yourself all the time, it's like you always have to do that when you're hanging out with them, and then you're like, this isn't who I am, and then you're not content. And
you're not content.
You
won't ever
being
be
fake, and it's like you can't keep up with it.
I also just think the energy you put into the world is what the energy that comes back to you. So live with love, you receive love. Live with kindness, you receive kindness. Live with hate, you're gonna feel hate. You're gonna feel angry. People are gonna get mad at you. People are not gonna like you. Like, the truth always unravels in the end. The truth always comes out, and you just need to be okay with yourself and be okay with who you are. And there's only one you in the universe, so love yourself. Because
be who you are.
Be who you are
for your pride. That's what I was thinking.
But yeah, there's only one of you in this world. Out of 7 billion people in this world, there's one of you. That's fucking crazy. It's fucking insane. There's only one of me.
Exactly. And there's nobody that is like the same. Even if you're twins, like, you guys aren't the same. Like, you guys will have different interests, different things you like,
different relationships.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is their own individual, so everybody
you're all unique, and it's like,
should live as how they want to live.
Yeah.
And not have to feel worried about what someone else is thinking them, and what about what happens tomorrow.
That's when you're gonna get in your
spiraling.
head and be like, oh no, like, I said this,
also,
or
like,
I did
if
this.
you're struggling, don't be afraid to ask help from other people. Like, I know we've talked about like self-love and working things out on your own, but sometimes you need help getting there, and it's okay to ask for help. Therapy is not something to be afraid of. Like, go to therapy if you really need to talk to someone and you have no one to talk to. Reach out to your friends, reach out to your family. I have the biggest thing of feeling I have to work on is I feel like a burden to a lot of people about my problems, so I don't talk about them. But I have to realize that maybe someone that I talk to have been through this problem, and they might have some really good insight to help me, and I would have never known
if you didn't,
because I was self-conscious of feeling emotional.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to feel
and even if you open up, like, people are more likely to want to help you And like
Yeah.
if they can't help you, they'll be like,
It's also how
I
you
can't.
it's also how you form connections,
Yeah.
and that's how you bond, and that's how you create the best relationships
Yeah.
of your life. But because you
But even
trust
if
that
like
person.
they can't help you, like they could like be like, maybe you should go do this, and then they have a
Mhm.
different view on it too, you know?
Yeah. We all learn from each other. We never stop learning until the day we stop breathing.
And if you don't want to like learn, then you're not gonna grow either.
Yeah, you have to keep your mind open.
Yeah.
You have to.
Always have different looks on things. Always like want to hear things.
Yeah, definitely.
Be willing to take like it all.
You have to be really also willing to like cut the shit. Like, this is my problem too right now, because like change comes with uncomfortability, and you have to be ready to get uncomfortable to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're in bed and you're tossing and turning and you're
And you're, like,
uncomfortable
trying to
until you
find-
find your right spot.
Yeah.
It's just like that. Like, you have to just keep
That's
moving.
a really good
analogy.
Yeah. Like I never like really looked at it like that, but that's really good.
It's really helpful, because that's my biggest thing with change is the fear of like unknown. Something happens, changes here, it makes me feel like shit, but maybe 3 months after that, I'm the best I've ever been.
Yeah.
Like, you never know.
And that's the thing too, it takes time.
It takes time.
Nothing is like
Time will heal everything as well. You focus on yourself, you work on yourself, you live with love, you laugh with your friends, you guys create the best memories. Like, time goes on and you grow with time. You never get back to your very beginning. You never are where you started, ever.
Yeah.
Even
Exactly.
if the finish line, even if
the finish line is
all the way down there.
The start line is all the way back there, and you're halfway through, or you're however far. And even
it's
once
gonna
you
feel
get
like you get set back sometimes, but that's normal.
Yeah.
It's like everybody deals with like shit.
Yeah.
And everybody gets in a rut, but you never are how you were.
Like, I don't know if this is stupid, but let me know, because if it is really stupid, we're gonna cut it out.
Okay.
But like, I'm thinking like getting set back, like if you think about it, like when you're like a kid or like you're a baby, right? Like you are like not thinking about anything. When a baby falls down, they just like get back up, you know, and they keep going until eventually they'll walk, you know. So it's like you have to keep going. You can't let a fall back like stop you. Like just get back up, and you're gonna make a couple more steps, and you might get fall back again, but then you're gonna make a couple more steps, and now those couple more steps are farther there than you were.
I just thought of one too.
Is that like stupid?
No,
but like that's
it
what I
makes
thought.
sense.
Like I'm like, wait, like
I just thought of one too, but it's gonna sound real ironic coming from me, because you'll understand why.
Okay.
But it's like riding a bike. Like, you use the training wheels, and the training wheels got you safe, but at some point you gotta take them off, and you're gonna fall a couple times.
But then you'll get it.
But then at some point, you flying on that thing.
And Sierra doesn't know.
I don't know how to ride a fucking bike either. Shit. Mentally, I'm there.
Mentally, she gets the analogy.
I can't have balance. I'm not a balance queen like that. But you know what? Maybe that's just an excuse. Maybe I can actually maybe I'll learn how to ride a bike. 2023, I will learn how to ride a bike.
We'll post a video at the end of the year where she's like
biking. I'm biking on the beach, living my life on the coastline. Yeah. Because the only thing that's kept me from riding a bike is fear of falling down.
And you're always gonna have fear, and then you just have to take it, and you have to take the risk.
I have to take the risk to learn how to ride a fucking bike. Yeah. I can't be afraid of falling down. Everybody falls down. I'll probably fall down walking before I fall down on the bike. Like, I fall normally. Why am I scared to fall on a bike?
Yeah.
It's the same. Like, I let myself get hurt emotionally. Why can't I let myself get hurt physically? I'm sorry. No, that's bad. I'm joking, guys. But yeah, that was also an analogy that came up for me. It just sounded really good in my head.
No, it makes sense. Like, it makes sense. It's like everybody has those moments where it's like you fall, but like you have to just get back up, and you have to take the risk and not be scared of what the outcome is going to be. Like, there's always fear, no matter what you do. Like, there's always going to be setbacks in whatever it is.
Yeah, agreed.
You have to keep going and don't stop until you achieve it.
Yeah. Yep, I 100% agree. I also saw this like post on something. It was like a girl that had one arm, like she had a disability, and she like climbed a mountain with like no gear or anything, and that was like her goal. She wanted to do it. And I'm just like, damn, like we are so blessed to be where we are.
And we're
like,
so much stronger too than we actually think we are.
yeah, like if we really put time and effort
And set your mind to it.
Into our work and like into our life, into our health, like possibilities fucking endless.
Yeah.
Endless. You can do anything that you set your mind to.
I mean, even just like thinking about like us starting like working out and like actually like holding ourselves accountable, and like we have a group chat where we like text each other, we're like watching our calories, like seeing how much stronger and better I feel about myself, and seeing the way things look on you, or like how you feel, or like even like going up by like 5 pounds in a way, but like I did 2 less reps. It's like I went up 5 pounds. I could have never done that before.
Exactly.
It's like if you set your mind and like you put your effort and time into it, like you're going to see results, and you're gonna have to keep working until you get there, until you achieve what you want.
Yeah, I agree. Like, don't let your struggles get the best of you. Everybody has them, and they could be the worst of struggles, or like, you know, one minor thing, but like keep your peace of mind and really think like
keep moving forward.
No matter what, this may have happened, but like, you know, I'm still thankful that I'm here and that I'm alive and that I still can do what I do now. And, you know, like I still, no matter if I got set back today, I always have a chance tomorrow. And if I don't, then I will get back up eventually. But there's no shame in, you know, falling down and like having your bad moments. Like it's all a part of the journey. It's all a part of the process. And you'll get to where you need eventually in time. And you honestly gotta be okay with it. You just have to come to a point where you realize like, this is life, this is where I'm at, this is me. How can I work on it, and how can I do it in a healthy lifestyle?
Yeah.
And not do it where I'm self-sabotaging myself.
That's very true.
Yeah. So, how long have we been filming for?
An hour.
Do you want to keep talking, or?
No, I think we're good. Do you have more to say?
We've been kind of talking about the same thing.
Yeah, but it's been good.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready
to
end it?
Should end it. Well, we should pick a topic of conversation. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that's how I feel. I just like.
Okay, wait. Can we like?
What?
Okay, wait. We need like. I'm just like thinking when I edit it. Sometimes we like are talking, and then we like cut so abruptly, and then we start so abruptly. Like it's really hard.
Oh, I was gonna finish what I was saying.
Let's do like a 3, 2, 1, so I can like.
Anyways, I was talking. Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Anyways, like, with all that said, like I just want to say like I'm probably in one of the biggest struggles of my life right now. Like mentally, like I haven't been good, but you know, I keep hope, and I keep that thought like I'm not where I was, and this isn't where I'm gonna be in 3 months. This isn't where I'm gonna be in a year. This isn't gonna be where I am in 5 years. Like this is just now. I need to be present, and I need to take the steps
to get better, to also focus on yourself, so that also in 6 months you're not still here, you know?
Yeah, and if I am there in 6 months, that doesn't change, and that doesn't change anything really, because I still have time.
Yeah.
And I think that's also has to correlate with like the age thing, is that I have to remind myself that I'm still very young, and I still have an opportunity to change my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And why not take that opportunity? Why am I just gonna let that go to waste? Like, I know I'm aware, I'm self-aware of everything that I need to do. Like the only thing that's holding me back is fear, and like the fear of unknown. And it's just like,
but you're never going to,
everything is unknown.
Yeah, you're never gonna know what's gonna come from it unless you just try.
Yeah. I love the saying, like, you only live with regret if you don't try. But if you do, you won't regret it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like murder.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry. I saw this post, the thing that I sent you, where it's like that one friend that says something that they should be locked up for 5 years for saying. I'm such that friend. My inner intrusive thoughts always win. But it's like funny.
I mean, it really threw me off guard. I was
Sorry.
like, well,
You don't live with regret unless it's like something horrible you do. That's what I meant. Don't do anything horrible. Be nice people.
yeah.
As Harry Styles says,
Treat people with kindness. And Selena Gomez says, "Kill 'em
I
with
just want to
kindness."
look good for you.
Oh.
I got a fetish for you.
I was thinking of her "Kill 'em with kindness" song, but yeah,
Sorry, my sluttiness got to me right there. But yeah. Anyways, we'll probably end it around here. It was good. It was a good
it was really
conversation.
good. I like honestly like I don't know why, but like why was I like low key getting teary eyed a couple times? Like it was like I just really needed this.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just good to talk.
Yeah. Go hit up my therapist.
Yeah.
Hey girl,
Yeah.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back to you, baby.
I'm gonna wrap around.
Wrap around. Okay.
Yeah, but no.
Ooh.
I'm excited for my future, even though it's struggling now. I have hope, and I'm excited for where I'll be. And I always struggling is a learning period.
Yeah.
Take like
everything that you're getting from people and from yourself in this struggle to learn to like how to keep going and not have this fall back again.
You might go through a situation now and you don't know how to handle it.
But then you can go through it 5 years.
You go through it again in 5 years.
And then you know how to handle it so you don't fall back.
Yeah. Every struggle, every bad memory,
every chapter has
every bad relationship
story.
Is an opportunity for you to grow into a better person.
And you have all your different eras.
Yeah, and that's also something that helps me because no matter what, my bad situations, I'm going to turn into a good one. And it'll all be worth it. Because I'll be stronger, I'll feel more confident, and I won't feel as small. I'll be good. So let's end it. That's a good place to end. Let's end it there because it's like your struggles, they aren't what make you. You are what you make of them.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah.
We'll see you in the next episode.
So yeah, this was Mouth Wide Open. We got a little deep for the comeback. Sometimes
the way like so many things just ran through my head. This is Mouth Wide Open. We got real deep for the come.
Oh my god.
But now next episode not deep like this one. But this was good. Everybody needs
Maybe
this moment.
Maybe somewhere else.
Okay. Everybody needs this moment.
Yeah, everybody needs a moment to just talk and chill.
Exactly.
Okay. Bye guys.